The culture that we grow up in teaches us a lot about ourselves, a lot about the world. Sometimes it teaches us to straighten our hair, to get rid of our curls. Sometimes it teaches us to accept minimizing and gaslighting as connection. Sometimes it encourages us to choose the partner that won't choose us back instead of the partner who chooses us boldly, who chooses us with honesty. Sometimes it tells us to shut up, to sit down, to be quiet instead of speaking our voice. Sometimes it teaches us to stop eating so that we don't take up too much space. Maybe there isn't enough for us. There's not enough for you to eat and everybody else to eat. Oh, another plate? Okay. Sometimes it forces us to eat when we're not hungry. I cooked that food, you better sit down and eat it. Right? Sometimes it teaches us scarcity. I put you in this sport. You know we don't have the money for that. You better do good. You better excel. You better be exceptional. Sometimes it teaches us conditional love. Sometimes it teaches us to compete with our brothers and our sisters instead of connecting. Instead of saying, hey, I'm scared, we say, ugh, can't believe what they're doing. We gossip, we make up lies, we cut them down. How dare you? You're weird, you're not like us. Right? Sometimes it teaches us that our needs don't matter. You know? Maybe it teaches us that there's not enough to meet our needs. Or maybe it teaches us that we're not enough to meet our needs. Regardless, it teaches us something. It teaches us to shrink, to settle down, to not be too rowdy, to not want too much, to not expect too much, to not strive for growth, or to only strive for growth, to be the one that saves the family, to be the one to hold everybody on their back, to be the one to talk everybody in the family down, right? What does it teach us? It teaches us maybe that we're good at pacifying others, and we should continue to do that at the expense of ourselves, at the expense of our true selves. What does our culture teach us when we grew up in it and it's normalized? And you can't recognize anymore when somebody is genuinely trying to help you, or when somebody's a predator with 6 rows of teeth smiling in your face. Sometimes you can't tell who the real predator is. This one talks nice, so they must be nice. But maybe they're not. What is our culture teaching us? What did the way we grew up teach us about how to operate in the world? Maybe it taught us that we can only be successful when it comes through somebody else. Maybe it taught us to shrink our voice and our wants and our needs while carrying everybody else's on our back. Maybe it taught us to be strong. I'll shovel the snow. I'll take the trash out. I'll have the kids. I'll cook the dinner. I'll do the finances behind the scenes so that it makes us look good in public. I'll shrink down for this stupid person to rise up beside me and feel good about themselves. What does it teach us? What does it teach us, and how can we recognize it? It's easy to recognize it in others. Oh, she's trying too hard. Oh, she's performing. Oh, she's doing this, that, and the third. It's so easy to see it on other people. It's so easy to feel the incongruence in energy in other people. But what if it's time to look and turn the mirror in on ourselves? Not as a self-sacrifice, but as self-knowledge, as self-respect, as self-wisdom, as self-assurance, as self-sufficiency, empowering ourselves. No, I know what I want and I know how to get it. I don't need the middleman. I don't need anybody to come in and tell me what I already know. I don't need to wait for the permission of somebody who decided long ago that fear was a better teacher than love and respect. I don't need the permission. I'm allowing myself. But I think the truth is, before we can allow ourselves, we have to know ourselves. We have to study ourselves. We have to sit with ourselves. We have to accept the silence and the pain and the discomfort and the fears and the terror and the realization that, holy shit, this culture wasn't teaching me love and connection. This culture was teaching me fear and submission. How did we grow up? And how is it still affecting our lives today? I think that's something that I've toyed with and I've thought about for a good amount of time in my life at this point. And it's something I can confidently say. I know my limiting beliefs. I know my patterns. I'm aware. I know myself better than anybody else. I know. And I'm ready. I'm ready to stand in my truth. I'm ready to speak my voice. I'm ready to share my stories as lived wisdom. I'm ready to accept the help. I'm ready to submit to myself. I'm ready to stand in my truth. I'm ready. I'm ready to rise. The curls are out. The food is being prepared. The table is set. And there's an abundance. There's an abundance. And if you resonate with any of the things that I just said, I want you to know that there's an abundance for you too. I want you to know that on the other side of self-acceptance and self-knowledge is self-empowerment and power. It's choice. It's self-sufficiency. It's sobriety. It's power. And I believe you know deep down that you've had this power this whole time. Maybe you're even afraid of it. Maybe you're afraid to tap into it. And that's okay too. Take your time. You're still alive. There's still enough left for you to eat. No matter who else is eating, there is still time left for you to eat too. And if you don't believe it yet, that's all right. Maybe you stay, maybe you listen to a couple stories, maybe you listen to a couple episodes. Maybe you let yourself be convinced. I don't know. But you do. You do. And the people who raised you, the people you grew up around, the culture that shaped you, it might not have known. It might have been afraid. It might have operated through fear and scare tactics and intimidation and manipulation and lying, deceitfulness, greed, scarcity. Those don't feel good. They don't feel good when you're operating out of it. It doesn't feel good to live your life through that lens every day. I know. I've lived it. And I decided it's time to stop living that way. I think it's important to have somebody to ask. If you can't ask your parents, who can I ask if I'm not fond of the way that they're living and I don't want to go down that path? Who can I ask? Maybe I'm intimidated to ask other people who seem to have it figured out because I don't want them to see my self-doubt. I don't want them to see that I'm without. I don't want them to see me. See me. See my full self, my full pain. Okay? That's fine, but who do we ask? Who do we ask? Who do you ask? Maybe you ask God? Maybe you ask religion, you ask your pastor, maybe you ask, who do you ask? When even they can't give you the answers, who do you ask? And through this, I want to give you the power. I want to give you the option. I want to help you see that this whole time you could ask yourself. And even further, you can ask your ancestors. They know what's up. They lived through it. They're on the other side now. They see the whole map. When you feel like there is nobody here that you can ask them. Tap in. Feel your power. You are loved. You are seen. And just know, if there is nobody else to ask your ancestors. All right, y'all. This is Soul. I hope you heard something that, maybe inspired you. Maybe made you feel something. And if you didn't, that's all right. But if you did, then I'll see you next time. This is Soul signing off. I love you very much. Bye.